Well, I guess you don't have. Oh, no, you have
Yeah,
your.
I got it right here.
Yeah.
Everything is refreshed.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right, we are back from executive session at 9:38 p.m. where we talked about personnel. I need a motion to approve the assistant coaches as per the list at the appropriate compensation based on the MEA agreement and volunteers unpaid listed for the 2024-2025 winter sports season pending receipt of all required clearances. In the event of a partial season, salaries will be prorated.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. I need a motion to hire Allison Waldo as assistant principal at a salary of $65,000 prorated, subject to the assignment, which is currently McGuffey Middle School, and per the terms and conditions of the McGuffey School District Compensation Plan for School Administrators and Supervisors, and pending receipt of all required clearances, Act 168 verifications, and medical exams.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Dr. Welk?
It's with my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Allison Waldo. Ms. Waldo comes to us from Chartiers Valley High School, where she was a mathematics teacher, and she was there for 3 years. Before that, she was at Beaver Falls Middle and High School. Ms. Waldo has a bachelor's degree from Duquesne University, and she obtained her master's from Point Park. The middle school would like to thank and welcome Ms. Waldo.
Well, thank you all so much. I'm so excited for this opportunity. I can't believe it. I'm just so excited. But really, though, I'm very excited to be a part of the McGuffey family officially. And I'm just so excited to get ready and just to be a part of this great community here and to really be involved with not only the students and the staff, but also the board and all of the families here and everybody. So thank you so much and have a good night.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I need a motion to approve Mrs. Cambruzzi and Mr. Leisure to attend and chaperone members of the McGuffey FFA to the National FFA Convention on October 23rd through 26th, 2024 in Indianapolis, Indiana.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Have a roll call vote, please.
We're going to ask for abstentions anyway.
Discussion.
Discussion? Yes. I'm sorry. I didn't know there needed to be discussion.
No, that's all right.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm good.
You don't want discussion?
You
Oh.
just forgot.
Oh. Okay. So no discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Abstain.
Motion carries. Need a motion to approve the attached list of additional high school club and activity sponsors for the 2024-2025 school year.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Abstain.
I also abstain.
Okay, can you roll call that?
It doesn't pass then.
It's gonna fail.
Oh, it will?
Yeah.
Abstentions count as no's.
Abstention.
So let's roll
Ms.
call it.
Fry,
Abstain.
Mr. Kern,
Yes.
Mr. Leisure,
Yes.
Ms. Leibhart,
She's absent.
Mr. Barnett,
Yes.
So there's 8
Ms.
of us.
Shingle,
Abstain.
I wasn't thinking.
Mr. Thomas,
Same.
Mr. Venata,
Yes.
Ms. Jackson.
I was not realizing there's 8 of us. Like I did, but I wasn't processing that. Yeah, I'm going to say yes. Okay. Motion
It's
carries.
5:03, but the abstentions count.
Yeah.
That will carry.
I need a motion to authorize the administration to reopen the 3 paraprofessional positions at Claysville Elementary as per the terms and conditions of the current collective bargaining agreement.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. I need a motion to accept the resignation of Mr. Brian Harris, utility worker, and authorize administration to post and advertise for the position effective October 25th, 2024.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Abstain.
Motion carries. Okay. My understanding is we are tabling policy 006 and 827 pending putting together the policy committee and move forward, correct? Do we need a motion to table?
No, from a legal point of order, you can either table them or pull them from the agenda until the committee is ready to represent them. So it's your choice. Do you want to pull them from the agenda until the committee is ready to represent, or would you like to table, which means they would come on next month?
We had agreed that with the policy 006 and the parliamentary authority, that excuse me, wasn't necessarily a policy. Is that, I'm just trying to remember. We had a lot of discussion and I couldn't remember what we ended up
Yeah.
officially
Can you imagine
deciding.
why you would... So yes, as far as everything we discussed, we weren't changing the wording on that anyway.
Okay.
And there was discussion about moving or not moving, public participation, how
Right.
that's handled. So yes, I think at this point, what the board, my understanding was that the board agreed that they wanted to put together a policy committee and move forward in that venue. So my suggestion would be that we pull them and have the policy committee bring them back when they're ready.
That's fine with me. And had we agreed that moving forward, we would still, since it's not a policy thing, do a new business line item?
On the
And we
committee
would agree
agenda.
to, yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that would just require consensus, Madam President, not a vote, to pull the items.
Okay, so we all are in agreement to pull the items?
I agree to that.
Yeah? I'm not sure how that's different than a vote, but okay.
I know.
Just was kind of confused there.
In the minutes as a vote.
Okay. So the consensus is, all right, good, good to know. Thank you. I need a motion to approve CSM Consulting Incorporated to provide E-rate Category 1 and 2 services at a cost of $3,500, no increase over last year.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Need a motion to appoint Ms. Laura Seibert as School Board Secretary for a 4-year term effective October 17th, 2024 through June, I'm assuming that's 30th, 2028. That's okay.
Should we
We've had a
discuss
problem
this?
with dates tonight.
Should we discuss this one? Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. I need a motion to accept a donation of Play World Playground equipment, model number 350-1835, or through, I'm not sure, as presented, including all costs for equipment delivery and installation at no cost to the district, pending verified receipt of all necessary funding from an anonymous donor. And that is per our policy for gifts and donations, correct? 706?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
Quick question.
Oh, sorry.
Does this apply to the program where you're a diamond or you're the different donations?
It's not a sponsor thing.
They did not go through that process.
Okay.
She wants to remain
Sorry, I
anonymous,
shouldn't say that.
or the person wants to
Whatever.
remain anonymous.
All right.
Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. And just like to say a big thank you to the anonymous donor. That is such a gift. I need a motion to approve payment to Andrews and Price for the submitted invoice with the billing date of September 30th, 2024 in the amount of $2,865.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. The facilities use report.
Madam President, a total of 35 times in September. Those are community with primarily girls youth basketball. The class of 1984 held a meeting, cross-country boosters, Hall of Fame meetings, and softball practice.
And youth football. Right?
I do not have for use of facilities.
I know they've been here. Yeah.
That'll be next month's one.
No, I know they've been here. But the budget expenditure report is there for your perusal. The cafeteria report is there for your perusal. The P-card spending summary, remember that's the credit cards. Do we have a solicitor's report?
We have no solicitor's report.
Do we have a Western Area Career and Technology Center reports?
Excuse me. We do not. The meeting that we had, oh my goodness, I can't even remember the date now. It was the same night as our open house here at McGuffey, so there was no attendees from McGuffey. But there are the weekly updates listed there for public view and for the board's view. There's a lot of information on those, so it's really nice to read.
Pennsylvania School Board Association report.
I just had a couple of things. One is a reminder, we're getting to the end of the year, so you have to make sure, we all have to make sure all of our director training is done. They are beginning to advertise for workshops that are coming up in February and May of 25. You can register. The most of them that I've seen so far is they're traveling. It's to Mechanicsburg, and most of them are during the day of the workday. A couple of other things, and I've been asked to make sure the board knows you can take a part in voting for the leadership of the PSBA. If you want to do that, each board has only got one vote. So the board has to collectively agree on, I don't even know the people, so I don't feel like I would contribute anything. But if you want to do that, we all can do that. If that is over, yes, I think have some significant scholarships that are being considered right now, and we are talking about for next year. There's one that recognizes a bachelor's degree in education. There's one that recognizes a public safety, criminology, forensics, or law enforcement. And they all have different names. If you really want the list, I'd be glad to give you the list. Anybody interested has already got the information. The other thing is they're talking about grants. There's a host of grants that have been opened. But again, every time I bring something up, our school seems to have already done that. So if you're interested, I'll send you the list there. They are on their website. It's probably not anything that all of us have not already seen, but thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. At this time, we have public comment on agenda or non-agenda items. Keep in mind when you come up to remember to state your name and your township of residence or borough of residence. And if we could just, as a reminder, to be kind and respectful to each other.
Madam President, Casey McFarland, South Franklin Township.
I'm sorry, what was the first name? Stacy?
Is it Casey?
Casey. Sorry. Last month, I've been in my head for a month thinking it was Stacy.
All
Sorry.
good. Sounds very similar. All right. Well, my name is Casey. I'm thankful to be up here again speaking, and I'm happy to be able to continue to be here. I want to mainly touch on the point again during this school board meeting that religion was involved, and it is a public school. I have no understanding as to why prayer is being involved. It is crucial to consider why such practices should not be part of the school board meeting, because there are over 10,000 religions in the world. That means that we are excluding 9,999 other religions and beliefs. Our entire school district is not Christian. Even if they were, it's not the place for it. If we're going to, and this is against the principle of what I'm saying here, but if we're going to include a Christian prayer, we need to also be inviting practices of Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism. I could go on, but we're not doing that. First and foremost, public schools are designed to be an inclusive environment and serve students from a multitude of backgrounds, beliefs, and religions. The principle of separation of church and state is a cornerstone of our democracy. It's something that we were founded on, and that ensures that no single belief is favored over another. When we introduce prayer into the school board meetings, we risk alienating those who may not share that belief or who may identify as non-religious altogether. This is particularly concerning when it's in a setting where decisions are being made that affect the education and well-being of our students. Since this is a public setting, students have the ability to be here and have shown participation in this from middle school, high school. They're hearing this. It may seem slight, it may seem insignificant, but it's an influence to them. So, moreover, this should be a place of open dialogue, rational discussion about the policies and practices that shape our school. When prayer is included, it creates an atmosphere that discourages open debate. Those who might have differing opinions on religion matters may feel uncomfortable or unwelcome to voice their thoughts. Education thrives on diversity and opinion, and it's essential that we make that available for everybody. We also must consider the legal implications here. There's costly fines, litigation that can be involved whenever we're including this in a public school setting. We have discussed, or I've heard you guys discuss and have concern about costs of things. And if that's running a part of it and we're taking that resource away from education, I continually see requests for donations to teachers in schoolrooms for things that they should not be asking for. If that money cannot be diverted to pencils and tissues, I don't think we should be concerned about saying a prayer in a public school setting. There is a foundation, it's called the Freedom of Religion Foundation, that has already been contacted about this concern. They have already reached out to the board. Nothing has been done differently. I have also contacted them, and I plan to continue to do that. This has nothing to do with my personal belief, but speaking up for the belief of the collective of this entire school district. We need to be representing every child, every family, and we are not doing that if we are only listening to one religious prayer. We shouldn't be listening to any, period, because of the structure of the school that we're in. So we need to recognize the message that we're sending to our students. It's said even in our agenda pieces that we need to set a good example for the students in how we debate amongst each other, the respect we have for each other. And I don't know if we're actually holding up to that when we're including our own personal agendas or beliefs. So I would highly request that this is reconsidered to not be involved in the public school board meetings. I have a minute left. I won't waste your time, but I think that it's extremely important to touch on those subjects. I know this was just a piece that I wanted to throw in at the end if I had extra time. I know it was discussed about the timing of comments. Here's a question. How about we put a time cap on the executive session? If we can have a time cap on our times to speak, I think that that's reasonable. Or it's been discussed just recently, what if that was held on a different night? Things that we could consider. Also, again, just touching on the point of being examples, there were moments today that we're talking over each other in one way or another. So I would just like to remind everybody that our kids are watching. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam President, we have Vicki Jordan.
I'm holding off.
Okay. Chrissy Florian. I'm confused. East Findlay or East Buffalo? Because there is no East Buffalo. East Findlay? Okay.
I used to be in Buffalo. I'm from Buffalo Township.
I'm sorry, agenda or non-agenda items?
We are on non.
Non, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So, Chrissy Florian, East Findlay Township. All right. So, I'm just going to start off with being a member of this community for over 40 years of my life. McGuffey has a special place in my heart. And I know many of other community members, staff, and affiliates of the McGuffey district will agree with what I'm about to say. Our country was founded on the belief of God. Our founders knew a thing or two when constructing and signing the Declaration of Independence. They were God-fearing men. God is an essential part of my life. It never used to be. I was not raised that way. And I found God through my late husband. And I think that it's a good basis to raise children on. So I think that it needs to stay in our hearts, in our minds. It makes a difference when you believe in God. One of my concerns is that the fact that there's talk about some monetary support from the political group Moms for Liberty. Can any of you maybe clear the air on these claims? I am not exactly sure the basis to these claims and if it just pertains to either staff members of the school supporting this group or that this is their right. I do not believe Moms for Liberty is in any way a threat to the school. Focusing your energy on a group that is for liberty does not make sense unless you're against liberty for all and freedom. A comment was made about children not having access to books if Scholastic was dropped. I have come up with a solution. As you all can see, I wheeled in a nice little wagon back there. Keep laughing. Yeah, check it out. All them books right there. It took me 3 weeks to collect those books. Not even, actually.
I can't hear you.
Occasions. It took me 2 different occasions collecting all those books. All right, I had, thankfully, Claysville Presbyterian Church donated 2 boxes of those books, and the other box has come from my home. Children have access to books. We can come together as a community if that is a concern to collect books for these children. I've got, over 100 books I've collected so far. If good books were the issue here, we would not be having this discussion. I'm going to start over here now. And we may not all agree on everything, but the one thing that we should agree on is that the children, their safety and their well-being is our main focus. So I think that we need to put that at the forefront of our decisions. When it comes to nutrition in the school, I'm never going to give up with this with you guys. These children eat garbage in this school. And if I was not a single mother of 6 kids, I might be able to afford to feed them a little bit better, but I can't. Also, if I could afford to send my children to a private school, I surely would, but I can't. Let's see, I have an idea. Instead of supporting a book program that features sex acts between the same sex and more inappropriate depictions drawn in books that is completely inappropriate to children in the school of all ages, how about we donate the books from home? Like I said here, I've started it. My challenge to you guys is to take it upon yourselves to donate or collect some books for these kids. If it's a concern, didn't take long for me to do it. I have a lot more in my attic. Also, I'm out of time, but yeah, it's about it for now. You know, I could talk forever, so thank you.
Madam President, Carly Wise, South Franklin Township.
Hello, good evening. Carly Wise, South Franklin Township. I only left here 6 weeks ago. I didn't know I was going to be back so soon, but I love McGuffey. I just wanted to bring up some different points that I was hearing this evening to address, and I wasn't planning on addressing this. However, in terms of the prayer in school, and I understand that we all have our religious beliefs. I am a Christian, and I just want to go back to that. I understand beliefs are that maybe our nation was founded on Christian beliefs. I understand that, but it might be important to read the First Amendment and to realize that America was founded on religious freedom. People are free to support whatever and practice whatever religion they want.
Thank God.
Yes, thank God. I agree. I do want to go and say, I know I heard some questions come up about the Gay Straight Alliance. For the last 2 years, I was the advisor to the Gay Straight Alliance. It is listed as a paid club in the union contract. I never once took any money from our taxpayers to run that club. And neither are the intentions of the two that are coming in to serve as sponsors. The enrollment increased from 2 students our first meeting to 12 during our last meeting. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but over 2 years, you can do the math, what percentage that increased. There's a growing number of students who choose to sign up and come and join. It is a club that is for everybody. It is a club that promotes kindness, inclusivity, and acceptance of everybody. There is no exclusions in that club. It's a safe space for students who feel they need a safe space. Again, we talked about safety and well-being of students is number one. It's why this club was brought back. It's always been here. There just wasn't a sponsor running it. Well, I took that role 2 years ago, and it continues. An email was sent to Mr. Bonus in July requesting a change of sponsor since I was leaving the district as a school psychologist and as a sponsor from Karakish Fike, stating that she decided to take over sponsorship. Why her name wasn't presented on the September board agenda is beyond me. Why it was now brought up in October, highlighting 2 clubs, is beyond me. The club is still in existence. You cannot get rid of that. It was only a switch in sponsors. No money is being taken from taxpayers. And no, there are no permissions that go out for the club. There are no permissions for any clubs. I asked that question before I even started because I wanted to do everything properly. And I appreciate the people who voted to let there be a change in advisors. Mind you, we weren't voting for the club. We were voting for a change in advisors. And I appreciate the people who abstained from it. Instead of saying no, you voted against it. You were clear not to have a civil liberties argument so that the ACLU could get involved. I just want to keeping a space open for kids who feel they need it, who have been bullied, who have been discriminated against, to come and come together. There is no activism going on in these meetings. We do crafts. We have snacks. We discuss things. So I encourage you to take my thoughts and considerations into consideration tonight, that there is no taxpayer money going towards this club. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Final speaker, Alex Wise, South Franklin Township.
Sorry, what was the first name?
Alex?
Alex? Okay, I just didn't hear it.
My name is Alex Wise, and I'm from South Franklin Township. I would just like to bring up and bring attention to the LGBTQ bullying in our school and the discrimination against all of us. LGBTQ students are extremely targeted in our school and are constantly harassed over and over again. And the amount of people who have reported these harassments, no one has listened. Over the 4 years I have been here, I have always tried to report things to help other people out, and no one has listened to me or anybody. LGBTQ students who reported being bullied in the past year had 3 times greater odds of attempting suicide in the past year. Studies show that among LGBT school middle school students, 29 of those who were bullied attempted in the past year compared to the 12% who were not bullied. If something is not done, this will get worse. People cannot keep ignoring that this does not happen. It happens. It happens every day. I will walk through the hallways and I will be screamed at, I will be harassed, I will be kicked. It is not fun to deal with. And no one has done anything about it to anyone. And specifically to mention the GSA, that has helped a lot of kids to come into this group and to have a safe space to go, to talk, just to have someone there to know you're not different and to know that you're not alone and by yourself and that there are other people just like you, because they can't keep going around alone thinking they're different than everyone else. They need someone there to help them. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who are you again?
Vicki Jordan, Buffalo Township. I just want to
Wait a
start
second,
out
we
by.
didn't start the timer.
How dare you?
I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah. I just want to start out by saying her story is very touching. And you guys all know I've stood up here and spoke many times about the bullying issues within the district. And if what she's saying is true, and I don't doubt her, I think her mom needs to be guided to the harassment and bullying form that we've talked about many times, that some of us have requested that parents are automatically directed to when there's an incident, especially something as severe as hers. I just want to say, in the agenda, when you look at the attachment, when it has GSA, and it lists the names, it says paid. So if they're not paid advisors, that's probably something that needs to be changed when you're putting these agendas together. And the 2 people who are stepping up that are willing to do this for no pay is a very gracious thing for them to do. I'm not against a club that clearly they say is all-inclusive, that isn't grooming or looking to guide children to a lifestyle that maybe they're not in. So I hope it is what they're stating it is. I also just want to say is, just because the clubs have never required parental consent doesn't mean that they shouldn't. I speak often to you guys about the importance of parental consent in everything we do in this district, from blood drives to community events to clubs. Clubs should be no different. If your student is going to be in this club, you should probably have your parents sign off on it and agree to it, like everything else we do. Parental consent to the age of 18. I will stand by it. I will always stand by it. I had something else I want to discuss, but I'm not going to, because I think following this young lady's statement, I think we should all kind of sit with that. But I definitely think something should be done as far as showing it is paid when they're not. Because my only objection, and I would have had it last month, but I was ill, to the sponsors being paid in any of the clubs is what is the percentage of students to advisors. So if it's a paid advisor position and you have maybe, I don't know what the magic number is, you guys decide that. But if you have 12 students, do you need 2 advisors if it's being paid? If they're volunteering and they're being that gracious, then it's definitely not an issue. But as the agenda shows, it's paid. So I just want to thank you guys for your time. And I also want to say, I personally want to thank you for not bowing to the pressure in regard to prayer. I respect that prayer at every meeting. And I feel it in my heart. And I don't think you're setting a bad example for our students. So I hope you will stay strong and keep up the good fight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam President, that concludes.
Thank you. Approach me? Yeah. On that. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries and we are adjourned at 10:15 p.m.